Welcome back to the channel, Baddies, Babes, and Gents. We are here live. I am your host, Wisdom's Daughter, and this is Bad Girls Talk. All right, welcome everyone to the live. Thank you so much for being on. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for me. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers and we need your help to do so. So hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so that you can participate in the live chat. And on that note, let me go ahead and greet who was first in the building. So I've got I am Mrs. BB said, "Good evening, WD and everybody." And she also noted what we've seen is that a lot of women who are candidates for Diddy's jury are victims of SA as well. Galatians 6-7 is in the building. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame is here. Said good evening, BGT in chat. And Galatians said, "Hey sis, I just woke up and right on time. You sure are right on time." My Tie is also in the building. Good evening, My Tie. Thank you so much for being on, and to all those of you who are joining us from the bushes, welcome to the live. All right, so Diddy's new attorney, she let me see. I'm trying to see if I can get a picture of her. Yeah, this is Diddy's new attorney. And so her name is Nicole Westmoreland. Some of you may remember her because she worked on the YSL trial, if you were following that here in Atlanta. And interestingly enough, besides the fact that Diddy's legal team just keeps growing and growing and growing, she is the newest addition, but she has also stated that she herself is a victim of SA in an incident that occurred when she was only 19 years old in 2001. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. We're also going to take a closer look at Diddy's defense team. So we'll be going through kind of the stats on all the lawyers. I am going to go ahead and post the call-in link down in the chat because we have to talk about this. You have a lot of jurors who are being disqualified because of a past experience with SA. And this young lady, which we're going to get into her story. I mean, when I first read it, I said, sounds like she was at a Diddy party, to be honest with you. No shade. Well, maybe just a little. But anyway, so it's interesting that he has this attorney on his team, because if she was a victim of SA, can she really be partial in this case? Would she not potentially be triggered by all that has been going on? So that is going to be some of the questions that we're going to be talking about this evening, because I want to know what you guys think. I'm giving a side eye. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that one, but it works in Diddy's favor. Most definitely, because at least it shows the jury, hey, listen, my lawyer was a victim of SA, and if she's saying that I'm innocent and she's defending me, and that's the interesting thing. So you can have defense attorneys that can defend their clients knowing full well that they're guilty. I mean, their job is not necessarily to determine innocence or guilt, but it's to provide a defense, and in a case where they know their client is guilty, to try to negotiate the shortest sentence possible that they think that they can get. So Galatians said, yes, she could be biased. That's what I'm thinking. I'm a little on the fence about this one, but we're going to learn her story. We're going to talk about all about who she is. All right. And yeah, again, if you're just joining us, welcome to Bad Girls Talk. I am Wisdom's Daughter. Remember to like the video. Go ahead and do it now so you don't forget. Share the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to become a member, we'll be dropping the membership link shortly. And if you need it right now, you can get that from the description on the channel. All right. So Pretty Garden Girl said, this bothers me. Them using an R victim to cross-examine his R victims. She reported her incident instead of taking money. Very, very interesting. I think this could go either way. This could work in Diddy's favor, or it could potentially cause an issue with her maybe having to recuse herself from this case. I really don't understand why she took this case besides money. Money makes you do all kind of things. Mai Tai said he can't be judged by an SA victim, but one can defend you. And that's the truth of it all, right? Mai Tai, that's really the truth. And I am Mrs. BB is saying she believes that that is the defensive strategy. So again, shout out to all of the members, the BGT members that are in the building and all the supporters. Thank you for being on. All right, well, let's jump right into her story because it is an interesting one. And then we'll get into what is now 9 persons on Diddy's defense, some of whom are related. Isn't that interesting? So according to, this is Double XL magazine, okay, hip hop on a higher level. And the title of their article is Diddy's new attorney was AR'd at a Cash Money Records studio party in 2001. This is why some people are having a challenge with her impartiality. All right, so Diddy's newest attorney, again, is an SA survivor herself who was AR'd at a Cash Money Records studio party in 2001. On Tuesday, May 6th, Diddy added another lawyer to his team, which is the young lady that we saw. Let me put her picture back up on the screen. That would be Nicole Westmoreland is her name. Let me get her back up on the screen. Let me stop sharing this for just a second and I will put her photo back up. We'll get her photo back up in just a minute. For those of you who did not see what she looks like, I'll get that back up for you. And so her name is Nicole Westmoreland. She is joining his legal team, and this is for his S crimes case. All the charges that he's been charged with, from prostitution, crossing state lines, trafficking, all the things, right? So she's an Atlanta-based attorney. As I said, she worked on the YSL case. Now, according to court documents obtained by Double XL just today, again, we're hearing that she herself was a victim over 24 years ago. She was only 19 at the time. She worked at a business that helped people reinstate their suspended driver's licenses. Now, in December of 2001, she was invited to Patchwork Studios in Atlanta by Cash Money Records CEO Birdman for a pitch meeting to help his artists. Now, if the name Birdman sounds familiar to you, it's because that is Toni Braxton's ex-fiance. She was engaged. Toni Braxton was engaged. She was engaged to this guy, Birdman. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let me see if, let's see. Stop screen for a second. I'm trying to see if I can put these on the screen at the same time. So I'll do that now. So for those of you, again, who are just now joining, we're talking about Diddy's new lawyer, okay? Miss Nicole Westmoreland. She is an African-American female lawyer in her 40s. She herself is a victim of SA. And what we're asking is, how can someone who experienced SA now cross-examine victims of SA? Will it mean that she'll be sensitive to their situation? Because, oftentimes, and that's why a lot of victims don't want to testify, is because oftentimes they are ridiculed on the stand, they are humiliated on the stand, they are made to feel like it was their fault. They are asked stupid questions like, why are you just reporting this now? Why didn't you report it earlier? Oftentimes they're made to feel as if they are, they're slutty, you're a hoe, you're one of those type of women. In this case, Diddy's defense team is intending to discredit as many witnesses as they can, claiming that they're just saying these things because they're looking for money. And so it's like you're being victimized all over again. So this is going to be really interesting to see this play out. All right, let's get back to the article at hand and learn a little bit more about Miss Westmoreland. All right. So once again, she goes to Patchwork Studios in Atlanta. It's Cash Money Records, Birdman, CEO Birdman, for a pitch meeting. So she's thinking that she's going there to kind of hear different artists that are attempting to get a record deal. During the meeting, which Westmoreland claimed ended up being a party, so much for the meeting, went to the bathroom and was followed by a man named Alfred Cleveland, who proceeded to R her. Okay, now just want to say that because we're talking about a very sensitive topic, if you have been a victim of a similar situation and at any point in time in this live this becomes too much, feel free to just put the video on or the live on mute for a little bit. Give yourself some time and come back. You don't have to pop out of the live, but you can literally just mute it if there's anything that's being said that might be a trigger for you. And certainly if you've been a victim and you haven't come forward, we would always encourage you to do so. All right, and those of you that would like to join Bad Girls Talk, the membership link is now in the chat. And we'll go ahead and link that. I don't know who this guy is, this Alfred Cleveland. Not sure, but according to the article, she went to the police about the incident, and this guy Cleveland was arrested and later pleaded guilty to aggravated assault with the intent to commit rape. Okay. She sued Cash Money and Patchwork Studio, but lost a summary judgment. She appealed the ruling, but her appeal was dismissed in 2008. And I can imagine that has to be disappointing. Triple XL did reach out to Cash Money representatives for a comment, and they were not successful in getting said comment. So that's what happened to her. Now, again, she's the latest attorney to join Diddy's legal team. So now he is 9 lawyers strong. 9 lawyers strong. I don't even think O.J. Simpson had 9 attorneys. I mean, I don't even know if he could afford 9 attorneys, to be honest with you. But if you are not guilty, and Diddy has pled not guilty to all these charges, why do you need 9 attorneys? Is it because you called many of these victims liars, and then when a certain video came out, you had to backtrack and apologize? I'm just curious. Just curious. Anyway, Brian Steele, who was the lead counsel on the YSL Rigo case, was also added to the legal staff last month. Westmoreland's appointment comes 3 weeks after TMZ reported Diddy was on the hunt for a Black female attorney to add to his counsel. So as it stands right now, I believe he has two female attorneys now. There is Tenny Garagos and now Nicole Westmoreland. Now, his last minute appointment could be a tactic of optics, which is exactly what I am thinking. And I'm going to try to make this article a little bit bigger, so those of you that want to read along, so you can see it. Okay, that's a little bit better. If you ask me, it's definitely optics. I think he's trying to appeal to what is probably going to be a very challenging jury for many reasons. One, because the jurors are not listening to instructions. A lot of the jurors, almost all of them, have seen the CNN video of Diddy in the hotel hallway beating up Cassie. And also a number of the jurors or juror candidates have been victims of SA themselves. So definitely a tactic of optics. The prosecution in his case is made up of 6 white women. Okay, so I stand corrected. 6 white women. During jury selection on Tuesday, Judge Sovranian reportedly called out Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Garagos. Now, that is Tenny's father. Okay, so Tenny's dad is also an attorney. He is representing Diddy's mom, and he's also connected to this case. And he was called out for referring to prosecutors as a 6-pack of white women. That's what he called the female white attorneys, 6-pack of white women. He said that on his podcast, Two Angry Men. Your daughter is a part of this team. Like what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you do something like that? I don't know. Mark Garagos, again, he referred to the 6 white women attorneys on the prosecution as a 6 pack of white women. Okay, interesting, very interesting. I wonder if they have any black female attorneys on the prosecution. I don't think so. But Diddy wanted to make sure that he had a multicultural defense team, which he does. Um, Judge didn't like that. Okay, Judge did not like hearing the prosecution being called a 6 pack of white women. That's really sexist and misogynistic. So, of course, jury selection began on Monday in Diddy's trial, causing what can only be called a media circus outside of the New York federal courtroom in Lower Manhattan, in my neck of the woods, is where I'm from. And everybody and their mama and their cousin too was trying to get into this courtroom. All right. It will continue to be like this until 12 jurors and 6 alternates are chosen. Opening arguments are expected to begin on May 12th, but not guaranteed. Now, Diddy is facing 1 count of racketeering, 2 counts of trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. And if he is found guilty, this man will spend the rest of his life in prison. He was offered a plea deal. They have not yet released the details of said deal, so we don't really know what he passed over, what he gave up. But what I can tell you is that yesterday, and I believe also today, Diddy is in the courtroom sizing up. Hold on, it's saying that I've lost connection. Did I lose connection? Your browser's lost connection to your screen share audio. That's fine. Anyway, Diddy is in the courtroom sizing up the jurors, taking notes on, who was favorable towards him, who was unfavorable towards him. Diddy is a hot mess. I mean, scowling at people, kind of smiling at the people who basically said that they would be unbiased, that even if they had seen the video, that wouldn't have any bearing on, whether they would be able to render a fair verdict. And he's smiling and so forth. And Diddy is still wearing the same clothes, even though he's got plenty of clothes there. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I can find it, but I had an article that actually detailed all the items that he had. I'll see if I can find that for you, because it was like 6 shirts, the number of socks he had, the number of pants he had. It was enough so that he should not be wearing the same clothes every day. All right, so let's talk about Diddy's his team. So who is now on his team? Let's talk about that, and then we're gonna let's hold off on that. What I want to talk about are all of the celebrities and the A-listers that were mentioned in his trial so far. Let's do that. Let's talk about that, because even though the trial has not started yet, they've been name dropping. They have been name dropping something serious. So let's see who they named so far. I'm going to skip over some of this because we kind of already know. We know how long he's been in jail and all those things. Those connections and Diddy's impact are not only fading away, they are under the spotlight like never before in the last place you might expect: jury selection. This is according to Ashley Banfield. She said, everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy. All right, so first up, who was mentioned? Kanye West, who just goes by Ye. Yay. Kanye is nuts. He released the song Lonely Road, Still Go to Sunshine, that features Diddy and his son Christian King Combs shortly after his arrest. Kanye West included a conversation taped with Diddy, supposedly in prison, in the song. So he recorded the song Lonely Road, Still Go to Sunshine with Diddy while Diddy was locked up. And if you guys are not aware, Christian King Combs is in trouble himself. He also is facing allegations of SA, and I believe he has his own court situation going on. And that's probably why he hasn't been there. I'm not really sure why Mama Combs hasn't been there, but none of Diddy's family, who he was so hard pressed to get on social media so he could, post happy birthday or whatever to his kids or Merry Christmas, whatever it was. All right. So next up is Mike Myers. Okay. The only tie to Combs, well, I don't even know if he has ties really to Diddy. I mean, he talked about Diddy or made a joke in the Austin Powers movie. All right. So now you guys got to go back and watch the Austin Powers movie, the famous scene where Mike Myers puts his pinky up to the corners of his mouth. I love that scene. Anyway, but Mike Myers is known for his roles on Saturday Night Live. He's a comedian and an actor. And so I'm not really sure, besides him making a joke about Diddy in the film, why he's listed on here. This was a surprise. Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child was also mentioned on the first day of the trial without context. I am assuming that she was mentioned because I believe the jurors were given a list of different celebrities and asked if they recognize, like, do you know who this is? Did you recognize that person? And they may have mentioned her name. Also of note, there are, I don't know, this article just randomly says that there are hundreds of alleged ex-predators arrested in a nationwide operation. So we will take a look at that on another day. I don't know if these people got inspired by Diddy, but this is like out of control. All right, Lauren London, the former partner of Nipsey Hussle, said that Diddy helped her get through the funeral, Nipsey's funeral. And so many of you have seen Lauren London. She's been in a couple films, really beautiful girl. All right. There it is. There's Diddy's son, Christian King Combs and Justin Combs, both of his sons. Both of them, well, not both of them, they both were mentioned, but his son Christian was accused of SA and battery. And this occurred in 2002 on a yacht that was chartered by Diddy. And this is in a 2024 lawsuit that he was named. So he and his brother, Justin, if you guys remember, were handcuffed during the raid on Diddy's house by Homeland Security that led to Diddy's arrest in September of 2024. Someone by the name of Dallas Austin, I'm not sure who Dallas Austin is, says that he's a record producer who dated Kim Porter, who is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of a few of his kids. And Kim passed away at age 47 in 2018. I didn't know that she was, I thought she was younger than that. Of course, Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who was an artist for his music label, or supposed to be an artist for his music label, but he turned it into something else. Look at her face in this. I'm going to try to blow this up. I looked at this photo and I mean, she just looks incredibly, incredibly sad. She's got her hair covering one eye, and this photo might have been taken the day after one of Diddy's rampages, because I remember rumors about this photo. But anyway, she is set to testify, and she is ready to testify. She has been waiting for her day in court. So if you guys remember, in March of last year, CNN obtained the video footage from the Intercontinental Hotel where Diddy was down in the towel, acting crazy, running up and down the hallway, after her. And, she was so distraught. She wasn't even thinking. She could have took the stairs. She's pressing, waiting for the elevator. And he beat her and dragged her back to the hotel and threw a vase, as we saw in the video. So, and that was from 2016. Now, she received a monetary settlement from Diddy in 2013 after she claimed he had abused her, which she initially denied and then apologized in that Instagram video that we all saw. And if you're on my live last night, then you definitely saw it. All right, Kid Cudi is next up. The rapper had a romantic interest in Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie. I didn't know that they were messing around. But anyway, he was interested in Cassie, and it was alleged that Diddy threatened to blow up his car. Well, interestingly enough, in February of 2012, his car was actually blown up in his driveway. So let's just be clear. Diddy is nuts. Okay. We have seen him go crazy, screaming, whatever I want, I get, losing his cool, losing his ish. He threatens to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and then Kid Cudi's car gets blown up. So if you ask me, Diddy did it. Okay. You don't even have to ask, did he do it? Yeah, he did. And that was seems to be pretty well known in the industry that he had something to do with that. And anybody that tried to get close to Cassie, something happened to them. There were people who were turning up missing, people who were dying mysteriously of some kind of pneumonia. And that ultimately is how Kim Porter passed away, from some type of strange pneumonia. All right. Michael B. Jordan also once messed around with Cassie Ventura or was trying to holler at her, and Diddy, called him, threatening him. And Michael B. Jordan was like, look, you better get your boy. But there have been rumors that he was going to testify. He will not be testifying, according to Rolling Stone. And so, so if you were looking to see that handsome cup of water, you're not going to see him in court. He won't be there. Aubrey O'Day, a former member of Danity Kane, has been very outspoken about the ex-label executive, calling him a soulless man and saying the working conditions for the girl group were toxic. O'Day once said that Diddy allegedly, or his alleged mistreatment, was enough to have changed the course and direction of her entire life. And here's another member of Danity Kane. Okay, she was also in the pop group. She is suing Diddy in a civil case for SA, inhuman working conditions. And she also said that she witnessed him allegedly abusing Cassie. Okay, well, according to her, it's not alleged. She said that she witnessed him abusing Cassie. Lisa Bloom, who also represents Richard, told Vanfield that these celebrity names could be mentioned, but not necessarily take the stand. So these are all the names that have come up in the case so far. Not all these people are going to testify, but it's interesting that their names are coming up. Remember when we heard about celebrity names being mentioned either in the complaint or in the indictment, but the names had not been released? Well, now that information is coming out. So if you were very interested and very thirsty and you wanted to know what the celebrity names were, but you know who's missing from this list? We haven't heard names such as Mary J. Blige. We haven't heard names such as Young Miami. We haven't heard names such as Leonardo DiCaprio. Denzel. Well, Denzel only went to, I think, one of Diddy's parties, and once was enough, and he left early. Haven't heard from Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's name being mentioned. Haven't heard Usher's name being mentioned. I don't know if they're gonna call upon Justin Bieber, and I don't even think he's in any kind of condition to take the stand. That young man is so broken. It's, I think he got it worse than anybody. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna play this video, and then I'll be right back with you.
Nobody is more entwined with the cultural fabric of the past 30 years than Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, whatever you call him. His fingerprints are all over music and television and fashion and fragrances, even the liquor that we've been drinking for decades. And even if you don't know Diddy from Puff Daddy, no judgment, boo. He's had many acts. But he's more than likely made an impression on everybody watching right now. I don't care what your age is. Maybe you'll never forget when he dated J-Lo. That was a big thing, quarter century ago. Trust me. Before Ben Jen, it was Diddy Jen. But then it was Puff Jen, actually. He launched the Vote or Die in 2004, became a really big deal there for a lot of people. He also threw those star-studded white parties in the Hamptons where everybody who was anybody went. Maybe you saw these pictures. Maybe you were there. Maybe you drank that Ciroc vodka that he was shilling forever, right? Maybe you wore a pair of his jeans. Sean John was a heck of a label. And maybe Bad Boy Entertainment opened your eyes and ears to a world that you never knew existed. Now, of course, Sean Combs' legacy, just like his liberty, his fortune, and his future, That all hangs in the balance of a sex crimes trial underway right now in New York federal court. But those connections and Diddy's impact not only are not fading away, they are under the spotlight like never before, in the last place you might expect. Jury selection. Like, it's never exciting, jury selection. Oh, it's boring. You wait till the panel's picked and then the good stuff starts. No, not in this case. Jury selection's been amazing. The candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy and the charges. Just today, the name Robert Downey Jr. came up in court when a prospective juror said that he knew a Robert Downey in high school. It was kind of funny. But Robert Downey, the actor, and Diddy apparently do know each other and have been seen together in public. But Robert Downey Jr. reportedly never attended Diddy's parties. So if he does figure into this trial somehow, it's going to be a lot of news to a lot of us. Mike Myers, another favorite Canadian.
Now, why is Robert Downey Jr. being named today? I mean, I know, him and Diddy were kind of cool, but I didn't think he got down like that. I mean, that's Iron Man. Like, Iron Man can't be a part of the Diddy case. No, you listen, you're gonna mess it up for all the young kids that, I mean, my son used to have the gauntlet. It was like a big glove, the Iron Man fist with the little jewels and stuff in it. Like, come on, don't do that. Peace be with you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much, and may your gift return back to you tenfold. Thank you. Pretty Garden Girl said they are going to make this as much of a clown show as possible. Distractions and discredit. Yep. Oh, Galatian said they reported Kanye's in the hospital this morning. I'm not surprised. Did he have a heart attack? Okay, because he's been getting a little big. I've been seeing a little, that midsection's been expanding, or is it the titanium teeth that he put in his mouth? Do you know that he's addicted to laughing gas? I can't with Kanye. Kanye always got a problem. But what I wanted to do, let me go back to, if I can, this frame here. Yeah, we can't have Iron Man involved. I hope they just dropped his name because Diddy knows him. But this, I want to go back here. I want to take a look at this for a second, because for all the names that I mentioned, if you weren't sure who was who, I mean, I'm pretty much at this point, everybody knows who Kanye West is. Everyone knows who Cassie is. That's Michael B. Jordan. Mike Myers, okay, you probably remember him now from Austin Powers. If you didn't know what Kid Cudi looked like, that's Kid Cudi, all right? This is Aubrey O'Day. If I'm not mistaken, she spoke in the TMZ documentary, The Rise and Fall of Diddy, or The Downfall of Diddy, whatever it was called. Okay, here's Lauren London. You may remember her for the role that she played in a movie called Atlanta. Very, very good movie. If you've never seen the movie Atlanta, check it out. There's Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. This is Dawn Richard. Okay, we all know Justin and Christian. All right, and that's Dallas Austin. All right, so those were the names that we mentioned earlier. I see you. The woman he chose is in the building. Thank you so much for being on. All right, I'm gonna let a little bit more of this play. Let's get back to where we were. Is that who I think it is? Okay. I think we were about maybe here. They were talking about Mike Myers. Okay.
Actor, favorite comedian. He is on the jury question list as well. And that too is a tongue-wagging mystery. Unless it's about the quick jab at Diddy that he took in the Austin Powers movie. I don't know. Doesn't seem likely. Rolling Stone magazine reports that actor Michael B. Jordan made the list because Diddy once threatened him for dating Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Same goes for the rapper Kid Cudi. USA Today says that Cassie's lawsuit claimed that Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car. Music producer Dallas Austin may have made the list for his ties to the late Kim Porter, who was mom to 4 of Diddy's kiddies. And singer Dawn Richard from the girl group Danity Kane, she is likely on the famous people list because she's one of Diddy's many accusers. Not in his criminal case, but she sued him civilly last year, claiming that she saw him abuse Cassie, his girlfriend, and that she herself was sexually assaulted, deprived of food, and cheated out of money that she was owed. Guess what? You're going to hear from her attorney in just a hot minute. But first, I want to bring in News Nation correspondent Caitlin Becker, who's outside the federal courthouse.
All right, so we're going to fast forward through Katie. I'm sure Katie had a lot of great things to say. And there is Diddy. Now, I don't know if this doesn't look like the same sweater. It looks like he might be wearing a suit today. So someone must have told him to change his clothes. They must have told him change your socks, your feet stink. Okay, your underarms is musty. Take a shower and put on some clean clothes. All right, let's see if we can get through this. Oh, no, wait a minute. This is Diddy hugging one of his attorneys. Like, would you want a hug from Diddy? Would you want a hug from Diddy? I would not. I'm not shaking Diddy's hand. I'm not none of that. Okay. Not in the slightest. But anyway, that's him hugging one of his attorneys.
In and out, so we don't really see him. So maybe.
And he's in that same sweater. Lord have mercy. When is this man gonna change his clothes? Okay. Like, is he trying to act crazy now? Look at that face. Oh my goodness, look at that face. Ugh, like yikes. Go on, Diddy. Let me show y'all something real quick. See if I can get it up here really quickly. If I can, I'll pull it up later. Let's see. Yeah, I've got it. I just want to show y'all really quickly. It's loading. So this is the thumbnail for our for the show tonight. Look at Diddy. This is what Diddy used to look like. Okay. And this is what he looks like now. Big difference. Boy, I tell you. Crime does not pay. They got him looking like an old man. Look at this. And they're still saying that opening statements except for Monday. I'm not so sure about that. Not so sure about that. All right. So
he says is likely to take the stand. She also represents two of Diddy's civil accusers, including that famous one I just talked about, Dawn Richard. I spoke with Lisa Bloom earlier today about what she can tell me about this trial, since she's an insider. I was so curious about you, first because I adore you, but secondly because you're very involved and engaged in this process. You have two clients who are civil accusers against P. Diddy, and you have one client who is a witness in this criminal case. So clearly I'm going to push you as far as I can. Who is the witness? Are you able to tell me anything about your client who's the witness?
Unfortunately, I'm not. That name is still confidential. I was hoping that during the jury selection process, the judge would be reading a list of witnesses and then the press would hear it. But that has not happened yet. So I'm trying to be mindful and respect the rules. And so I can't disclose that right now.
Understandable. That will come soon, so I'll call you again. And then one of your other clients, Dawn Richard, you and I have talked about her before. She's one of the civil accusers, but her name came up in court yesterday as one of the celebrities. And there's just myriad celebrities that have been named so far. And a lot of these jurors are being asked if they recognize the celebrities. So let's start with Dawn Richard and her nexus now to the criminal case. What can you talk to me about?
Right. So a lot of names came up like Kanye West and Mike Myers, right? And Michael B. Jordan. That doesn't necessarily mean these folks are going to be witnesses in the case. They might be, but more likely they're going to be mentioned. That's the phrase that the judge used. And so it could be that someone is telling a story. I was at a party and this happened and that happened and Dawn Richard was there or Mike Myers was there. I think that is more likely.
So that's the thing, that whenever you name a celebrity, the internet kind of explodes.
Of course it does, because everyone, listen, everyone around the world is following this case. Everyone wants to see, we all, first of all, not see, but we all want to find out what was in the baby oil, because you're not going to convince me, minding business, you are not going to convince me. I am not convinced that that baby oil was not laced with something, because a few of the victims mentioned being doused with some type of oily substance, so I already know what it is. But let's switch over to the article about Diddy's various attorneys, and that would be this article. Yeah. So let's talk about his attorneys. So we already know he's got the newest attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, who herself is an SA victim, which blows minds. I don't even, understand how, that's gonna work. But that was one of Diddy's tactics. I think that was done intentionally. He said that he was looking for a black female attorney, and I guess Nicole figured, well, if someone's gonna get the money, why not me? I've been through SA, I know what it's like. Maybe she feels that she'll be able to tell if any of the victims are making up the story or not, because she's kind of been through it herself, and she knows what that raw emotion is. That is really hard to fake, by the way. You got to be an incredible actor or actress to fake something like that. I'm not talking about the crocodile tears, but I'm talking about the pain getting caught in your throat. You ever been so hurt that it created a lump in your throat and you couldn't swallow or speak for a second? You've ever been so distraught that you were shaking uncontrollably? That's really hard to fake unless you're a trained actor. The tears coming down uncontrollably, the snot, these are not things that, and then some of the victims may not necessarily have that kind of reaction. I mean, they may be, settled with what happened to them, in the sense that it no longer has any power over them, and they can talk about it without necessarily falling apart. So this is going to be interesting to see. But getting back to Diddy. So the latest lawyer to join Diddy's legal team, again, is Nicole Westmoreland of Westmoreland Law LLC. So those of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about her law firm, she has her own firm. So it's Westmoreland Law LLC, who filed a notice of attorney appearance with the court on May 6th. So Diddy's defense team was already led by attorneys Mark Agnifilo and Tenny Garagos. Agnifilo is a founding partner at Agnifilo and Trotter, and according to the firm's website, has tried more than 2,000 cases in his 30-year career. And he is a former Manhattan assistant DA. That means he's a hell of a lawyer. Now, earlier today, I talked about one of the lawyers on Diddy's team who, I think is Mark Garagos, who referred to the prosecution, the 6 white women on the prosecution, as a 6-pack of white women, which is not funny at all. Not to me, not at all. I mean, I wouldn't find it funny if they were black, and I damn sure ain't gonna find it funny if they're white. So, but anyway, and I made a comment that his own daughter is on the team, but she's on the defense's team. That was my mistake. So I'm just correcting that for those of you listening. So Garagos is a founding partner at Agnifilo and Trotter, and is particularly experienced in defending and investigating allegations of actual misconduct, according to their firm's website. So we have Brian Steele, who you guys remember, he represented Young Thug at his RICO trial, who is working with Combs alongside Alexandra Shapiro. Now, according to her website, Shapiro is a trial lawyer who began her career as a clerk for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So she was a court clerk who turned lawyer. I think that's awesome. On May 2nd, just a few days before Combs' trial kicked off with jury selection, criminal defense lawyer Xavier R. Donaldson was also added to the rapper's team. So we kind of all remember that when that happened. Hang on just a second. There you go, looking all guilty. Donaldson is a former assistant DA for the Bronx County DA's office per his LinkedIn profile. And I need to check with that because I know a couple people that work in the Bronx County DA's office. So I wonder if they know Xavier Donaldson, which they probably do. So here are some renderings of Diddy looking real old. They got, oh, look at his stomach. He's looking pudgy. And why is he just touching on everybody? So you see this hand movement? He did this while he was looking at someone who was sitting in the courtroom who I guess was a Diddy supporter. Okay, that was the motion that he made on that. Here's another picture of Diddy looking straight like an Uncle Tom, looking straight out of Uncle Tom's cabin. Okay, I don't even know what to say. With yellow teeth. His teeth are not portrayed white. His beard and his shirt are portrayed white, but his teeth look yellow. Here he is looking like an old Negro that just got his freedom. Not yet, Diddy. He ain't off the hook yet. I don't know who he's looking back at right there, but that's one of those Diddy faces that he makes, like, I'm watching you type. That's that creep look. I'm not with the creep look. But anyway, Diddy looks terrible. There's some old pictures of him before his jury selection. All right, anyway, let's go back. Also working on Diddy's defense team is Ana Maria Estavio, a partner at Sher Tremonte, and Jason Driscoll, who joined Shapiro Arado Bach in 2023. Now, in February, with the start of Diddy's trial looming, one of the rapper's attorneys, Anthony Rico, or Richo, is it Richo? He's Italian, so is it, maybe it's Richo, or is it Rico? I don't know. But anyway, Anthony R. quit the case, telling a judge that this decision came after discussions with Agnifilo. Although I have provided Sean Combs with the highest level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, is what he has said there. And there is Mark Agnifilo. This is the same guy who tried to say that everybody buys baby oil in bulk. You know, like if you run down to Costco, you can get it in bulk at Costco. And Costco was like, nope, don't put us in it. We don't even sell baby oil in bulk. He mentioned the fact that Diddy had a Costco up the road from him, as if to suggest that he was going to Costco to buy baby oil in bulk. A Black person might stock up on things like Vaseline, lotion, soap, okay? Might have a treasure trove, enough Dove in all different scents. The cucumber one is my favorite, okay? The shea butter is my next favorite. Enough to stock a whole aisle in a grocery store, but not baby oil. We're not stocking that much baby oil unless it's for nefarious reasons, but that's just my opinion. Diddy, the once powerful rapper and producer, is in court now, and he might be celebrating what he sees as a win with our friend here, Nicole Westmoreland, but I don't know if that's going to make a difference. I really don't. I think it's going to be really hard for a jury to get past the fact that Diddy apologized. So he claimed that Cassie was lying all the while he knew what he had done. If he lied about one thing, what's stopping him from lying about another, right? So the line is open. If you guys want to, Montai said toothpaste. And Pecan Tan has entered the chat. What's going on, Pecan Tan? Yeah, if you are in the chat or if you are in the bushes and you would like to call in and give a comment, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. All right. We've got about another 5 or 10 minutes if you want to call in with a comment. My Ty says she is disgusted by the move herself, honestly. I guess there are some pros and cons to having, first of all, to have a black female attorney on your team is a good thing. Again, we don't want any reason for anybody to say that he didn't get a fair trial. He could have the top 50 lawyers in New York State, top 50 lawyers in the country. And I don't think it's going to make a difference. I do believe it will take some time, but they will find 10 jurors of his peers, or 10 jurors who can at least be impartial. I don't think they're going to find one person who hasn't heard about Diddy or seen that video or know what's going on. I don't think he's going to be able to find one person. But I just think that if Diddy thinks that he's just going to get off scot-free, like on all charges, we kind of know at this point that's going to be next to impossible. I mean, even if he just got convicted of one of those charges, he's going to do time either way. I mean, I think the lightest sentence he might get is 15 years. Y'all tell me what you think. How much time? What is the minimum sentence you think Diddy would get, and what is the maximum, right? So I'm going to say 15 to 25 to life is what I think, right? If instead YouTube rejected your comment, this usually means they think it's spam. Really? How are you rejecting my comment? Excuse me. Let's try this again. 15 to 25 to life. Let's see if that comment makes it through. That's what I think. And Galatian said, not happening. I think let's just assume he only got was only convicted of one of the crimes. Honestly, I think the most challenging one is going to be the S trafficking, right? Because he was crossing state lines. You know, some of his S workers are going to be testifying. So it's going to be his word against theirs. And again, he already lied about Cassie, so they can just easily say, well, listen, all the prosecution has to do is cast a little bit of doubt. Just a little bit, not much, not a whole lot of doubt, just a little bit. Galatians said 20 to 40. I think that sounds about right. But if you just ask my opinion on what I think the outcome is going to be, it could change as the trial goes forward, right? See who's winning, how the trial is going. But just at face value, I think Diddy is going to get 25 to life. I think he's going to get 25 to life, maybe even without the possibility of parole. I'm going to play something for you guys. Let me see if I can find it. This has nothing to do with Diddy, but if it did, it was very appropriate. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it now. Let's see. Let me try to start it at the beginning. Okay, take a listen.
18-year-old girl into his car at gunpoint and sexually assaulted her. In this latest case, he was sentenced to 46 years to 80 years in prison.
The court finds that you are incapable of rehabilitation, that you are a severe and extreme danger to society.
All right, I'm playing that. I won't play it again because I didn't realize all that was said in the beginning. But this is actually a African-American man who was convicted of assaulting a 9-year-old girl, kidnapping her, torturing her, and assaulting a 9-year-old girl, and he got 40 to 80 years. He was incarcerated before for a similar crime, did 15 years, got out, and then did the same thing. And so I honestly feel like they may deem Diddy a threat to society. They may deem him incapable of being able to control himself because remember, and this is my last point, besides the defense's strategy of discrediting witnesses, which they're not going to be able to discredit everybody. But their defense also is that Diddy did not have mental capacity at the time that the crimes were committed, that he was under the influence of, alcohol and narcotics and all those things. And he doesn't have the ability to control himself. Well, if that's the case and he doesn't have the ability to control himself, then wouldn't he be deemed a threat to society? Right? Because if he got off, what would stop him from just doing what he did before? Because that would mean he got away with it. And one thing that we know is that when predators get away with it, they will continue to do it. So that's my thoughts. Pretty Garden Girl said overcoming that video is going to be rough, especially after that apology video. And I think he will be very old when released, but not life. She said, no, I don't think it's gonna get life. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if he gets 25 with parole in 20, or 25 to life with parole in 25, however they frame it, he would be what, about 80 years old? Because he's 56 now. So it'll be 76. Yeah, he'd be like 80 or 81 years old. So hopefully too old to hopefully it will be too old for Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Okay, but that age might stop him for sure. Oh, I keep saying Pretty Garden Girl. It's Petty. I'm so sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Listen, I am waiting for the eye doctor to tell me my glasses are ready, and then I'll be able to see a little bit better. But thank you I got it now. It's Petty Garden Girl. And listen, I got quite a bit of petty in me. Not as much as I used to. I had to work on me because, baby, when I tell you that they called me the Petty Queen, okay, which was not a compliment. You want to talk about tit for tat? Well, I was the queen of the back and forth. So I have since found the error in my ways. And so I'm only just a little bit petty now, but Petty Garden Girl, I love it. He gave the alcohol and rugs to himself. Being on cloud nine doesn't excuse his actions. I know that's right. Yeah, Petty Garden Girl said yes, petty but not shallow. I know that's right. Well, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to the live. I will continue to follow this story on Diddy as the jury selection goes forward. If there's anything juicy or any tea that I have for you tomorrow, we'll be live tomorrow. If not, we'll be back here on Friday at 8 p.m. All right, so set your calendars and make sure that if you didn't hit the like button on the way in, you hit the like button on the way out. Last comment, peace be with you, said Diddy will be sentenced to 20 to 30 years, but the lawyers will keep draining his money. He may die in jail because of the conditions. And that is certainly a possibility because Diddy is not being given the royal treatment. He's being treated like any other hardened criminal while he's in county. All right, y'all, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.